I want to simplify everything so that you can start playing and experimenting by yourself. I can explain a lot of music theory just by looking at the keys, and hopefully this video helps you to do the same. Now, before jumping into chords, let's learn 3 intervals. These 3 intervals are the building blocks to understand everything else. Keep with me and I'll promise you'll be surprised at how simple this is. When you sit in front of a piano, you will see groups of black keys all over the place. 2, 3, 2, 3, and so on. Find the 2 black keys in the middle of the keyboard and start from this white key. This is called C. This pattern repeats all over the keyboard. We have this pair of black keys, and this is a C, 2 black keys, and another C, and so on. When we play a note and it's octave simultaneously, it's like we're perceiving it as the same note, as one single note. If I play a melody here, and then I play it 1 octave higher, it has the same notes, but a higher pitch. If you only play white keys, as I encourage you to do if you are getting started, you will see that counting 1 as the first note that you press and counting up to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 will get you to the next octave. You can abbreviate this as P8. Remember this way of counting as it's the building block for the next interval and the building block for learning the chords. After the octave interval, the perfect fifth goes next in the list of what we call stable intervals. In this context, stable means that it sounds pleasant and not dissonant. As we've seen before, you can build an octave or P8 counting to 8 when using only white keys. This time we're going to count only to 5. Remember to count the first key as the first note. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you lay your hand over the piano, your thumb and pinky will naturally fall into the 5th position. If you ever played distorted guitar with metal or rock, the perfect 5th is what's called a power chord, and it has this shape on the guitar. On the keyboard, when playing a perfect 5th, 1 and 5 usually share the same color of the key. If the root is a white key, the 5th is going to be a white key. If the root is a black key, the 5th is going to be a black key. There are 2 exceptions though. When you play A sharp and it's perfect 5th, and B and it's perfect 5th. But for now, don't worry about it. Let's continue. You're almost there to play your first chord. Let's now introduce you to the final interval of this video, the 3rd. We will continue on the key of C major. This means that we are only going to play and count white keys. And our first note of the scale is C. So let's start by playing a perfect 5th. We have 1 and we have 5. Let's add the 3rd. As you guessed it, it's the note in the middle. Remember, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If we play 1, 3, and 5, starting with C, we have the C major scale's first chord, C major. This chord is our home, our 1 chord. And this is very powerful. If you now move this 1, 3, and 5 shape all over the place, you are going to play all the chords that are available in the key of C major. Just try to avoid this one, right before the C. If you remember from the perfect 5th, this interval is not a perfect 5th. And once you get used to this shape, you don't even have to think about 1, 3, and 5. It's actually where your hands fall. Just with this, you can start playing chords and melodies that sound good together. I'm skipping many things I will cover in other videos if people like this one, so you know what to do: subscribe, like, comment. The algorithm loves it when you comment, so yeah, that's it. Now, you may have noticed that there's a lot of jumping around when you use the 1, 3, and 5 shape. There's a way to make chord progressions smoother by using inversions, and it's easier than it sounds. Remember, this is C, right? Let's play this chord, F major. I'm pressing this C up here, but we could use a C from another octave. Remember the P8 interval? Let's use this C down here instead. See, this is still an F major. It sounds a little bit different, it's a different voicing, but it's still the same chord. With this trick, you can play chord progressions with C and F that don't have to jump around so much. And it also sounds a little bit smoother. And you can repeat this and switch any note of the chord. If you play C major, you can switch this C up here. Then you can also switch this E up there. And lastly, we would go back to the regular shape, but one octave higher. This exercise of switching notes is good practice and something I recommend you to try. Also, do it on your DAW when making music. It's very simple and it sounds great. What about the other scales? We've been using only white keys until now, and that's because we've been locked in the key of C major. Most Western music, popular songs, EDM, use only major and minor scales. So the piano has 12 notes per octave. Now a scale is just a set of notes, usually made of 7 notes. As you've seen, the C major scale is very simple on the piano, you only have to play white keys. What if I told you that you've been also playing chords that fall into the A minor scale? Let's play the A minor chord. This is C, B, A. If you play the 1-3-5 shape here, you are going to play the A minor scale, and that's the first chord of the A minor scale. This is very simplified. If I stay on this A minor chord, and then I move to other chords, but then I go back to A minor, and all my song evolves around A minor, then the song will be in A minor. If I were to start in C major and maybe finish my song in C major, then the song would be in C major. And I know it's hard to understand at the beginning. I was also freaking out because I thought it's all the same notes and the same chords. How is it possible that one is C major and the other is A minor? It's more about the feeling of where everything falls. Usually if you listen to a song and it finishes in the A minor, it will be seen as that song was in A minor all along. There's a lot of things involved and a lot of context on what the person is listening. That's the reason why when I was talking about the key of C major, I was always saying this is home, this is one. Because there's a way of understanding chords on any key that is explained by using Roman numerals. And it's using Roman numerals because that way we don't confuse it with other things. But the key point to get here is that when you are playing with the 1-3-5 shape, even if you don't really understand all the things about the chords on the piano, you can still know that you are playing the 1 chord, the 4th chord, the 5th chord, and all of that in Roman numerals. When I learned that, it was amazing, so that's why I'm explaining it to you, because that opened a door of possibilities and a lot of videos explain songs around using these Roman numerals, and it's very useful. And if you are a music producer, you know that if you play the C major scale or the A minor scale, and then you shift the notes one semitone or a half step, then you know that you can play any other keys around that because it's just the same chords but shifted around. So let me explain how to move to other scales. If you're getting started, I recommend you to just play with the C major scale, maybe the A minor scale. And once you understand C major, you can move to C sharp, for instance. And to play the scale of C sharp major, you only have to shift every note one semitone. A half step is the next key on the keyboard. This time you count every note. Usually you're going to step from a black key to a white key or a white key to a black key. If you have another white key, is that white key like when you go from E to F or when you go to B to C? In those cases, you're going to be stepping to the next that is the same color. Here I'm using the Lumi so I can light up the C sharp major scale using an app I have on my PC. If I stick to only these keys that appear here, I'll be playing on the C sharp major scale. And as you can see, if we keep moving up to D, D sharp, E, F, etc., we're just shifting all the lights up a half step. And that goes back to what I was trying to explain. C major seems dull at first, seems like very basic, and all the tutorials explain that at first. But once you understand how it works, you can apply this to all the other scales. It opens a world of possibilities. If this was a TikTok video, this would go like, play your first piano chord with this simple formula. Push a random white key and call it 1. Skip 2, play 3. Skip 4, play 5. 1, 3, and 5. Congratulations, you have your first chord. Now just move this chord all over the place. Congratulations, you have a chord progression in C major. I mean, that would work, but it's very simplified. And that's what I wanted to make this video, so I can explain a little bit everything. And it's still super simplified. But I hope this helps you. If this video was helpful for you, please comment down below. The algorithm loves it when you comment. I'm not a music teacher or anything. I found this so easy and powerful to get started that I wanted to make a video about it. And a lot of people like the Ableton Push video, although I was scared that it would be too simple. So sorry for anyone that feels that this is like a very, very simple approach. I hope this helps someone. And if it helped you, that makes me happy. So yeah, I'm just making music for fun and sharing what I learned on this channel. So if you want to subscribe and follow me, please, you know what to do, and see you on the next one. Bye.